Hey, happy Monday, everyone. Hope you are doing well. It's a beautiful day, new week, and I'm sure that everything is going to fall into place for you this week, and you are going to have an amazing day today, an amazing week, and we're going to end the month of August with a lot of success. It's the last week of August, and it's going to be great. This is In the Raw, unscripted, unpracticed, unedited conversation. And I would like to start a commentary on the Beatitudes. If you're if you don't know what the Beatitudes are, when Jesus was preaching the Sermon of the Mount, or he was teaching the event in the Bible called the Sermon of the Mount, where he gathered many people, and he basically kind of gave the how-to of a Christian's life in the Sermon of the Mount. He talked about what the law had established and how we should view that in moving forward as Christians. And he revolutionized really the thinking of the time, because he came up with very different ideas on how we should live. And it sounds like it was contradictory to what the law had established in the Old Testament, but really what he was doing, he was teaching a new way of doing everything that was established in the Old Testament based on his life, right? And so within the Sermon of the Mount, he talks about the Beatitudes, and the word Beatitude really means blessings, the blessings. And those are found in Matthew 5, verses 1 through 12. That's actually how he starts this famous Sermon of the Mount. And he talks about 7 or 8 of them, and he explains each one. And so let's go ahead and take one by one, and we'll be talking the next few weeks. We'll be talking about each one. So the first one says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." And who are these poor in spirit? The poor in spirit are those who cast themselves on God's grace. Excuse me. He was talking about God's grace. He was talking about, in fact, in all these Beatitudes, he's talking about God's grace. But in this one, he's saying, if you consider yourself poor in spirit, yours is the kingdom of heaven. What does it mean to be poor in spirit? Basically, when we say, I'm bankrupt before God, spiritually speaking, it's I'm in need of God's Spirit in order for me to be able to function. I'm in need of God's guidance, the Holy Spirit, to guide me in order for me to function, in order for me to be able to live according to what God has established in my life. I can't do this on my own. That's being poor in spirit, acknowledging that we are that we fall short of the glory of God. We fall short of His grace, but yet He gives us His grace anyways. He gives us, what we don't deserve, right? He gives us something that we don't have a right to. And that's being poor in spirit, is acknowledging that, right? It's like that. I think it was a tax collector that was at the temple, and he said, when the tax collector in the temple was beating his breast, and he was kind of saying, God, be merciful to me. I'm a sinner. In response to the other guy that was there, boasting and saying, I'm better than all these people. I'm better than this guy right here. And he's there, pounding on his chest, beating his breast, saying, I'm not worthy. That's what poor in spirit is. When we acknowledge that we are not worthy, but yet we have received God's grace, and God has said, even though you're a sinner, even though you fall short, I'm going to bless you. I'm going to give you the kingdom of heaven. So when we have that attitude, and I heard once somebody say, Beatitudes, it's to be with this attitude, have this attitude, right? And so, yes, have this attitude. I'm poor in spirit. I am nothing without God. I am nothing without His Spirit. And when we declare that, when we understand that, when we acknowledge that, then God will say, okay, I'm going to take care of it. And because of that, because of your acknowledgement, because of your attitude, you are going to have the kingdom of heaven. We will be talking more about the kingdom of heaven later, but that's the first attitude, beatitude, and the attitude we should have, right? That's the first one that he talks about. Blessed are the poor in spirit, because for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. All right, I'll talk to you pretty soon. Have a great day today.